Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another practice cast. I'm dipping in just for a moment here to do this one. Very, very exciting. Honestly, this is super cool, the stuff that we've got set up today. More credit and well wishes and love and adoration poured upon CVPCS, who implemented a very simple screenshotting feature for me, so I can do some very fun stuff. I've been messed about in our OBS pretty much all morning. I should not have dedicated this long to this. I should have done an episode of the LP. But instead, I've been focusing on this. Look at how cool the UI is. Ready? This is all wood potatoes, baby. Let's do it. Boom. So, the room just emptied. But check it out. On the red team, we have Igneous Rock. And on the blue team, we have Beggar's Bindle. Oh, yeah, baby. So, when I do a cast, we will now see the team names on screen. We'll see their emblems on screen. And, yeah, I've done a lot of little things here. I've actually updated the entire overlay so that the art style is consistent. So the blue texture and pattern that you see here while we spectate the blue team is exactly what the in-game user interface would be. And same for red. So it's pretty much perfectly matched up. At the top, I've added some little indicators for the bars, so you can see where a team gets 50% complete, 75%, and where the end of the game is. I've done a nice little, like, glowy effect as well over each team, depending on who we're spectating. So, when we're actually spectating a match, that'll look better. You'll understand that a bit better, why one of them's glowing and one's not. And I was looking into some other stuff, but we'll have to put that on hold for now. There are more awesome ideas. Poor CVPCS, now that I've set this up, I've given a ton of other, like, little polish improvements for the tool, but also, like, a new feature as well that I'd really love. So this will only keep getting better, guys. I will continue improving this. And, yeah, I freaking love the emblems. I didn't realize that the devs, like, these placeholder team names, so Beggar's Bindle on the blue team here in this hot joint, they actually match the icons, right? Like, it's a Quaggan with a bindle over his shoulder. And Ingenious Rock over here, I've realized, is a pun on Igneous Rock. I didn't realize that. But, you know, they've got, like, a geode as their icon. And they do that constantly. There's a team called Ranger Danger, which is, like, a guy holding an arrow. There's, like, all these things going on. I didn't realize, but now you get to see the icons as well. So, if you guys queue in here on Oceanic Prime, I'm spectating the NA side. Oh, yeah, somebody just asked me. I'm casting NA, by the way. Right? I don't know whether this guy's actually EU or NA right now. But they just asked me to play, and I said, no, I'm going to be actually casting it. But, yeah, if you guys queue as a guild, please. Because I want your guild icon. Like, if you do Spud Club, I want to see it say the Spud Club here. And I want to see the Spud Club icon and everything. So it should be pretty good. You just finished episode 15. On to more WP. Yeah, I have to prepare more episodes. I'm, like, really caught behind, to be honest. But, yeah. So anyway, the brawl itself will start. It's Balthazar's Brawl, guys. It's starting in 13 minutes. You have 13 minutes to enroll as a guild team. I would love to see a guild team in here. Yeah, for you to have the stuff set up. I'm going to go make myself some coffee and roll the intro. And yeah, we should get into it fairly quickly. I'll see you guys soon. Hello. I'm looking forward to getting this done and going to get some lunch. Got some sweet salmon waiting for me. I don't know why I shouted that and said that so enthusiastically, but I am looking forward to eating the salmon. All right, chat is moving like a friggin'... It's on its last legs here. Look, I know that very few people come to these practices, guys, so we got to hold the fort down here, guys. We got to hold it down. What's going on, everybody? Lycans92, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for the enthusiasm about the cast. Total Emoji, it's good to see you as well. We just had an auto host from Soul Donkey. I don't know who you are, Soul Donkey, but thank you. That's very sweet of you. And yeah, Total Emoji. Yeah, we've got the AT going on. I don't know if people saw it a second ago. But yeah, we got some new overlays and fun things to play around with. So like, basically, here's how this works, okay? I'll talk a bit about behind the scenes as we wait. If I go to the game browser and I pick a game, so server 33, all right, it's a Skyhammer game. All I have to do is at the start, open the scoreboard. And here we can see that it's the Pig Iron Puddlers versus the Schoolmasters. So like, look, this is a pun, that's a whale, right? So when I have this open, I simply press a hotkey, and what it will do is screenshot all this information, which I then in OBS, I've taught OBS to look for the file that comes from it, and then I've cropped, chroma keyed, padded, and everything, the various elements here, so that then I've got them as separate things. Then my overlays I have set up as well to highlight. So basically, I just open this up. Right now, we still see the previous hot join, Beggar's Bindle versus Ingenious Rock. When I press the hotkey, it will screenshot the new thing, the new ones for us. Now, you'll notice that it's slightly offset here. The UI looks really ugly. Basically, I need to lift this up a bit. That's because hot joins have extra baggage on the user interface that you wouldn't find on the actual tournament. So this little fiddling around here to get the UI to look just right, you sort of don't actually have to worry about during the tourneys. So like, but you can see there's like some little lines around the anvil or whatever it is, because the window needs to be perfectly precise. I've actually got it set up, or should, so obviously this is a practice, we don't know for sure. But I should have it set up so that it's just a simple screenshot and then I'm done immediately. But like, so you can see that the Pig Iron Puddlers here, they have a line underneath their icon, and so do the Schoolmasters. It's because when I took the screenshot, the window was slightly off from perfect where it should be. And so, yeah, like by 1 pixel. And unless I get it perfectly, there you go. So like, that's too low again now. Now I need to do this. So this, again, during the actual AT, I don't have to mess about with, and because I don't really anticipate doing hot join cast too much, I'm not too concerned. But I can set up, you know, presets and things that work better for the hot joins as well. So that's a little bit of behind the scenes of what's going on. So there, you can see that's pretty much perfect on that one there. So what we need to do is just take the screenshot and boom, there you go. So now we can see as we watch the game, we've got the Pig Iron Puddlers here with their anvil versus the Schoolmasters with their whale. Yeah, so when I press the hotkey as well, it will freeze for like 1 second. But again, that only happens for 1 second at the start of each game. When I'm fiddling about in a hot join, it will do it a lot. But again, that's not normal, so you don't have to worry about it. You're currently 100%ing the Desolation on a holo. If you write, you die most of the times. Really? Well, good luck with your map completion there. Hope that's going well. And Doomblaze, it's good to see you as well. Here, have a woo. Thanks. That's something. Look, that gives me a moment of something to discuss. Thanks for the woo. Total Emoji, I made 15 gold from playing 3 AT matches. It felt good. Yeah, so you get a lot of money from it, right? Hopefully people catch on with that and start enjoying that even more, because getting a lot of money is always fun. So basically, what I'm thinking is we should standardize what these are called. Basically, instead of referring to this as EU off-peak or NA off-peak, let's just call it what it is, and that's OCX Prime. It's currently about 8 in the evening for Oceanic players. So Balthazar's Brawl, hopefully we'll see the best that OCX has to offer, plus early rising EU people and late to bed NA people. That's what this one would be. I wouldn't expect it to be the greatest tournament because I don't think there's much of an OCX scene at the moment. But if we had like Koreans and stuff playing as well, it would be the Balthazar's Brawl that we'd see a lot of people doing. Have I seen Steps entry to the song contest? No, I haven't. Many of them I haven't listened to yet. Many of them I haven't listened to. So here you get Cold Foamers versus Tyrion Swarm. No, I've got to gather those up, and I'm going to listen to them all together a little bit later. But yeah, so I haven't. You saying that makes me think that someone's got a mind-blowing entry that's like really, really, really good. It's about 9 now, is it, an OCE? Okay, well, fair enough. But yeah, I would still call this Prime, right? This is OCX Prime. Or would you call the previous tournament OCX Prime? No, this has to be OCX Prime because the next one that's live is like Prime for EU. So, and then after that, it'd be Prime for NA, and then it would be this one again. No, so I did some placements EU, I did some placements NA, then I did some more placements NA afterwards, so I've gone backwards and forwards. I've barely touched rank, basically. Right now, I'm on NA with... Because it resets your placements each time, right? So, I now have just one win, but I'm on my Jasper chest, which is the next one up. So, I've played maybe a total of like 5 or 6 games. I don't know what build I want to play. ArenaNet deleting my specs kind of lame, because now I'm just like... I don't know. I want to play Mez, but I don't know which variety. I don't know whether I want to play a Chrono. I don't know whether I want to play Demolisher. I don't know whether I want to play with Sword, or I don't know whether I want to play that Condi one that people are talking about now. It's going to take a long time for me to actually figure out which is the best. I think maybe the Sword one is the one I should stick with. But yeah, I don't know. Are Humpback Schoolmasters? I'm not sure. Yeah, do you get schools of whales? That's the idea, right? It's a school of whales. That's the joke. But I thought they came in packs, right? Didn't they? I don't know, because they're mammals. So herds, are they a herd? You get a herd of whales? Because it's called a calf, right? A baby whale is a calf. I know that much. Feels like the red emblem is like way bigger than the other one, but I think it's simply that the whales don't have a big outline. Hey, Philonor, welcome. Oh, there you go. Some people are coming in. Papa Squall, it's good to see you. Gran. Dumark says, I'm still playing Fresh Air. I'm struggling too much with the other Elementalist builds. You should definitely look into some of the sword ones. They're stronger comparatively now than they used to be. It's 9 PM in Melbourne. What time would it be in Perth then? Because Perth is like further along, right? It would be earlier in the day. Mind-blowing is an understatement. Wait, what's mind-blowing? Dude, Law, did you just do that right here, right now? Oh my god. Dude, it is so cool to see you're still subbing, man. Dude, I should catch up with you. How's life been, dude? Just 31 months in a row as well. I'm so rarely here when you refresh that. Dude, you're a god, man. I hope everything's going well. He might not even be here. It might be automatically doing it. I don't know. He's still a mod on the channel as well. He's my earliest mod, guys. An old friend of mine. LWP, I wanted to let you know I have 1 or 2 more elements on my Merciless challenge. Oh, okay. 31 years. Did I say years? I meant months. Sorry, I meant months. You guys have got just a couple of seconds now to enroll. You got 2 minutes. Please, get a guild team in there. I want to see a team. This is on North America. Oh, you are there. It's good to see you, dude. Yeah, I've just very recently, these streams are like completely off irregular hours and I don't sort of tell anyone. Only people who are following me on Twitch can actually find these. Because I'm just sort of getting used to, like, from a technical standpoint, I want to see what's available. And basically my objective right now is to find out a way to present the perfect monthly show for the big monthly tourneys. Because no content creators have really latched onto that with 2 hands at the moment. Most viewers on the monthlies just go to, like, the players themselves that are playing. But I think you could get a good cast. Like, the infrastructure for the game's there. The community just needs to sort of see how things can be done. So, yeah, I've been, like, mostly I'm technically minded with it at the moment in terms of, like, delivery and stuff. I got a really cool idea. I guess I'll say it anyway. I kind of don't want to say this in case CVPCS feels unnecessarily pressured to deliver it if he doesn't want to. But I'm thinking there might be a way to get a kill counter on screen, showing how many kills the red team scored as the match goes along, how many the blue team scored, and that's really huge. That will be very, very, very cool. So you'll know, like, very clearly why one team is winning and not the other, because you'll be able to see, like, who's been on respawn more and so on, and things like that. It will be very good. Enrollment, you got 60 seconds left, guys. Grant says, played Life is Strange this Easter with the girl I'm dating. We were able to save Kate, which was the high point of the game after watching your playthrough. Wow. Wait, I can't even remember. How does that... Don't you just decide which one you want to go for? What is this overlay? Please try not to make it too bloated. It's not too bloated. Do you know what? Fuck you. I've been working really hard on this today. That is not too bloated. They're just 2 little things that have come out. You keep quiet. This is not too bloated at all. I will not hear pedantry from the comments after I put all this effort in today. Yeah, I know that you're talking about the screen name, the team names. Yeah, I actually played Guild Wars 2 for the first time in a year or so yesterday. So many things have changed. Yeah, the game has changed a hell of a lot. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, here we go. So, oh, no, enrollment still open. There we go. All right, so we're immediately in the quarters. Someone wanted me to spectate them. He said he's probably going to be in a park. I don't know then. So, these are all temporary names as well. Pig Iron Puddlers, Thermal Runaways, Terminal Gloaming, Dragons of Despair. These, literally, all of these, none of these are guild teams, unfortunately. So we don't get to see whether the guild overlay works. We'll just go for the top one, and we'll see how that goes. You don't hear comments, you read comments. That is pedantic, that right there. All right, there we go. So we're in. Beautiful. That was very quick. I like how the team was spectating as the name highlighted. I think this really helps with visibility. Yeah, I really like that too. I'm surprised how well I got that to work, actually. So here, this should just work. I should just be able to press that and then that. Oh, I have messed up ever so slightly, but we can fix that very, very, very quickly here. So all we have to do is just go like that and then go crop pad, and on the bottom, add one more pixel. I think it's one more. No, it's not one more. It's two more. There you go, 2 pixels. So we put that to 7, and then the same over here as well. We just go crop pad, bottom, we put that one to 7. Boom. So there you go, done, immediately. So we've got the Pig Iron Puddlers versus the Thermal Runaways. Who do we want to watch first? Looking at the comps, let's see who we've got. Roaming Greatsword Guardian. He's on core, so he's core with Greatsword as well, though. Actually, that's fine, isn't it? Wait, I thought Core Guard ran Hammer. Is there a sword? He's got Mace as well. What? Mace Shield? Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong build there, aren't I? Well, anyway, whatever. So, yeah, Mace Shields. I don't know. We have 2 Scourges. This guy running a bit of a... he's running Warhorn here. We've got a Roaming Thief. Is this Condi Thief? This must be Condi, right? Yeah, we got a Condi Thief. And then we have their Firebrand support, okay? So you're looking at their node holder, really, if anyone, it's this. It's the Mace Guardian. This is going to be really interesting. We'll be spectating the red team, sorry, then, as we go out. And we'll see exactly how they do. Watching for opening splits. They've got their Condi Thief picking up close. They've got Niam Meow sitting about here. Okay, so fine, he's moving forwards. Let's see how the mid-fight goes. Blue is sending their Duelist Warrior to their close. There's a crossing Mesmer we can see on the map. He's pushing up. So that Mesmer fighting the Thief will be kind of interesting. Keep your eyes there. Watching the mid-fight here. Ghastly Breaches go down immediately. Probably far too early. You don't have too many boons to corrupt at that point. What is this build here? The Mace Shield, right? Like, this is such a weird build. But we'll see how they go. Right now, I definitely have Blue favored to win this mid-fight. The Mesmer beat the Thief on Red Spawn. So, Red really struggling here. Red also losing the mid-fight, as I predicted a second ago. So this is looking like a 3-cap for Blue. They are getting the reses, actually. So Red manages to resustain a little bit. They get a bit of a res. Blue's starting to take quite a lot of pressure. Red still has a lot of fight. There's a lot of bite left in this team fight. Absolutely, to be fair. So Red is actually now winning the mid-fight. Oh, they got that rally. Yes, they score 1 stomp. They get the Warrior down as well. So Red does win the team fight. So good on Red there. Now it's their job, though, to rotate back. And you can already see that the Red team is doing this to their close, which they lost because they had a Condi Thief versus a dueling Mesmer, right? Which never would have gone well. So Red seeking to reclaim this. Red zerged off of mid so fast there, by the way. They didn't actually fully cap their node. Let's watch how the Scourge does against this Mesmer here. He needs to score decap nice and quickly. He actually does accomplish that. I would expect the Mesmer to win this. Huge Condi Bomb. No Plague Signet available. He goes for the Consume Conditions. He needs to use his Plague Signet perfectly. He just spams it off cooldown. There's the Ghastly Breach. Does he get carried by Scourge OP-ness, though? Let's see. This is extremely close. The Desert Shroud, he's got plenty of barrier available. Life Force is getting a little bit low. Does he beat the Mesmer? The Mesmer's peeling away. He needs to go on the aggressive. There's a lot of damage here. He was standing right in the shade. Mesmer does go down. Okay, so Red does manage to reclaim their close point. That's excellent for them there. And next engagement goes up at mid. You'll also notice Red actually had a success over on point A, which is the blue spawn. They're immediately being re-neutralized there, but that's not too bad. So Red actually doing very well now. Red actually securing this mid fight. They've got their close back. Their Condi Thief has just been on respawn and is now free to roam around and support the 2 points in their half of the map. They're getting full rot value out of that Mesmer that lost over there, so that's excellent too. Red in a very sturdy position here. We'll watch the Blues perspective in just a moment. But Thermal Runaways doing very well. Is the Condi Thief doing anything smart here, you wonder, as he tries to aggress the Warrior on his spawn? Thermal Runaways standing in the middle of the map, watching for any crosses, playing fairly defensively. We're watching this Thermal Runaway Thief here basically just troll them and hold a 2-cap. He's actually on Dagger, hilariously, which does mean he can kind of sustain this. If he'd neutralized point A here, this would have been a really strong play, because what he's done is he's split the blue team, the Pig Iron Puddlers, away a little bit so that they can't easily aggress the mid-fight. Skyhammer is actually up, so this will neutralize all maps, all nodes, obviously. And it looks like the red team is not necessarily doing too well here because they're caught Scourge. They've now been massively plus, so huge incoming from the blue team at Hammer. If blue manages to win this Hammer, we will see the Pig Iron Puddlers come back in a pretty big way. And they started off fairly well outnumbering, but beautifully here, the Reds support came in and actually managed to heal his Scourge up quite heavily. So with that, Red is now, you know, this is another big team fight, right? But Red wins these team fights we've been seeing so far. Blue, it's fairly evenly matched right now. Several of the Red players getting reasonably low. Red did secure the full trip cap now, so it's all up to this huge team fight. You will notice, sneaky, there is a blue Ranger scoring that neutralization. But he doesn't really get any value from that neutralization if his team won this team fight. It doesn't look like they are. Blue wiping heavily. The Pig Iron Puddlers all going down at this team fight now. And with Hammer secured, that puts Red in a decisively solid position. Red doing very well, and I was a little bit skeptical, so hey, who am I? So we're looking at big blue respawns now. We've got one of the Pig Iron Puddlers still alive. It is this Ranger. And let's see how well he defends his enemy's spawn node. There's the Hammer going through. He needs to dodge that. He immediately bails off. Neutralization. He gets very little value out of standing here. Basically, he now needs to just regroup with the rest of his team as they come out of their spawn over here and get back across the map. So let's see how well the Pig Iron Puddlers can get back in this game. We're watching them reclaiming their close here. A bit of an over-rotation, you might say. The main risk right now is they've left their Scourge over here on his own. He could have been free for a lot of aggression. So let's see how well they can push across. It looks like they're trying to play split cap right now. The Pig Iron Puddlers going for A and C. Actually, they're going for a tug across the entire map, actually. Because we can see that they're even aggressing a 2v2 over here in mid. Let's see how well they do with the 2v2. They've got their Meta Spellbreaker Duelist here, fighting against quite a lot of sustain, frankly. Who's the other blue player? So yeah, they got a Spellbreaker and a Druid fighting against Firebrand support. I don't think that the blue team will ever win this 2v2. And in fact, one of them has been pressured so hard he had to leave here. If you actually look at this Druid, he was hit really hard by Condis. So I think this 2v2 is lost, unfortunately. And excellent play here from the red team. You can actually see Thermal Runaways win their 1v1 here, get full rot value from the Dagger Thief. And with that, I think you're going to see that Blue's really going to struggle to come back into this. The other 2v2 on the map. So we had two 2v2s and a 1v1. Okay. And I think Red is favored for all of them here. They're managing to take the kite away here. This is a crazy... Is this Power Scourge? Amazing. So he's actually playing Power Scourge. Why you wouldn't just run Reaper? I don't know. He manages to bail out, so that's pretty good. But he's on his own. And if you kind of look at the territory on the maps, it's not looking very good for the Pig Iron Puddlers. Another Hammer goes off. I didn't even look at that. We had Hammer get capped by the Red Thief up here. And once he'd taken that, I think that's really helped them to sustain their 3-cap. Actually, Blue finally secured a couple of kills here at the mid-fight. They, actually, no, did they? I swear they had someone downstate. Maybe they just rallied, though. So, honestly, guys, it's not looking too good. Not an entirely slam dunk game, but pretty close to a slam dunk game on this one. And I think we will see an excellent win here from the Thermal Runaways. Going through to the next round. Should I give up casting already at this point? Should I give up? Should we watch? All right, let's watch the cross. Druid once again taking this, uncontested. which, I mean, is okay. He can hold that pretty well. His warrior as well, also managing to get some free damage off on this enemy Scourge. If the Thermal Runaways lose their Scourge to this 2v1 on far, it's actually really powerful for the Pig Iron Puddlers. They can actually push back out really comfortably after this, but do they get the kill in time? They're just so sturdy, right, and defensive, it feels like. They're against double Scourge right now. And, I mean, he just gets wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. Thankfully, though, you will have noticed that the blue Druid did actually peel out. He gets decap here. There's a 1v1 in progress over at this point. And if blue manages to win this 1v1, they could... I mean, there's just nothing, guys. There's nothing. Every time they get a gain on one node, they lose it somewhere else. So... let's watch this Power Scourge versus Dagger Thief. Whoever said there weren't interesting new matchups to watch in Guild Wars 2? Look at this stuff. This is insane. He's running goddamn focus, guys. Let's have a little bit of a look at his build, shall we? Actually, no, I'll tell you what. This is a little tip from Jebro the other day. We should look at the builds of the guys that won, okay? Oh, we already looked at these guys' builds. This was the really weird... So what's up with this mace? What is actually going on? What amulet's he on? So he's Sages... What is this build? He's a Sage's amulet. Why is he Sage's? Where's his condition pressure coming from? I don't understand. I'm scratching my head. Somebody help me out here. Scepter shield, mace shield, Sage's, rune of speed. Hello? It's all Condi focus? I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, well, there you go. Moving on to the next round. Was it a symbol guard? You like the rework on the bars? What, up at the top so you can actually see the thresholds they hit? Oh, look, look, look. It seems like the red meter. Oh, look, we get to learn things here. Let's try really carefully now. We have to, like, max the red bar out ever so slightly more. Just a little. Ooh, ooh. There. There, like that. No, not like that. There, like that. There we go. Now the red meter's looking better. Okay, there you go. So now they're even out. All right, so there you go. That's round one. Actually, the red meter now is a little bit too short. It's fine. We'll fix that later. We'll fix that later. Looking back over to the rest of the tourney, we have the semis going on now. Deathper v Deathper. I almost don't want to watch Death. No, no, no. Let's watch the Thermal Runaways again, right? We should watch the Thermal Runaways. Oh, no, no. This is still round one, actually. This isn't semis. This is still round one. Let's watch round two, then. Unless this game's too far in progress. Let's see. So, round two is going to be on Temple. All right, that game just ended. So, we'll do Deathper v Deathper, I guess. And they've just started out as well, guys. They've just started. Game's about to begin. Let's update the team names. Boom. Oh, look at how good that is. Deathper with the arrow stripes going up versus Deathper with the diagonal arrows. And I know that the red team's symbol is slightly overlapping with the boons of the engineer, but I mean, it's not that important, and most of the time that won't happen. It's just that this is a very specifically large thing. So, opening splits, what do we have? We had Conversion Hollow picking up a close, and we had a Guardian picking up a close, with Mesmer attempting to cross, but his cross being countered by the Red Thief, with a 3v3 happening here in mid. The 3v3 currently looks like it's favoring... Well, I don't know, actually. I don't know. We'll have to see some of the cooldowns. It looks like it's favoring blue team. Blue team actually getting massive damage here. So, congratulations to the blue team, I guess. They're probably going to win this mid-fight, and actually fairly decisively. Attempted res possible? No, they're not even going for it. Yes, the res attempt is live right now. We're watching Ranger 4 on the red side, actually going for a quick res. He managed to secure it, so that's pretty good. Does he manage to secure another one? This is crazy. Why are you standing on this body? No, so blue wins this extremely decisively. Blue also sustaining their cap on point A. And blue already is on the push all the way over here at their enemy's spawn. So let's see how blue does here. Blue managing actually to take that 1v1 pretty comfortably. He's against a rocket turret, did I just see there? So blue securing far. Blue securing the mid cap. and rotting some bodies. Blue picking up their close node. We see that blue actually has swept the entire map now. It comes down to the red team to see how they do on respawn. Let's watch the conversion holo, who just lost his 1v1. It's not a conversion holo, I just assumed it was. He's running an interesting build. So he's going to be pushing the same 1v1 that he just lost. Not necessarily a good idea. It's also on Skyhammer, so he can get nasty jumped by the enemy Mesmer. Mesmer doesn't even seem to be focused on him. Mesmer gives him free decap. So red team does get a little bit of value here. The other really nice thing to see here is we can see that the Red's roamer... Actually, never mind. He's now moving over here for some reason. Red roamer, I thought, was going to score some decap or maybe split the enemy team a little bit more, but he's not doing it. So we're looking at, actually, the blue team playing extremely safely. If you look at blue death pair, they are just basically bunking their 2 nodes that they have. Super comfy. And they're investing a 3v3 on this node at their far point. As for the other guys... it's just their job basically to win some 1v1s here. So can red death pair win this 1v1 in a Scourge v Scourge matchup? Well, as you can see, very unlikely. Wait, he actually gets the kill. Holy crap, he got the kill. This is power as well, right? Well, oh no, it's not power. He's just running axe for extra life force. Everybody's running axe for life force now. I don't understand why. But yeah, he actually scores the downstate there. Oh no. I was watching the wrong team. Yeah, we make this mistake every day. So yeah, I mean, blue's going to win that very comfortably. Let's look back at the brackets here, because I think that here, yeah, Dragon's Despair. Let's wait for Dragon's Despair. We're going to go into the Dragon's Despair game, because those are the guys that we were watching a second ago, I think. Yeah, death pair takes the win. So, guys, which is, based on emblem alone, which is your preferred death pair? Is it red lion with that background? Which form of death pair is actually... I'm not talking about actual skill. I'm talking purely about which team looks better. That's not too cluttered, right? It looks barely any different to how it was before. I mean, it's in the same block as the party bars. The blue lion looked better, do you think? Blue all the way. Interesting. All right, okay, so... who have we got here? The Dementis. See, look, that's a pun. The Dementis is a pun on dentists, guys. Look, their emblem is a tooth. It's a tooth, everybody. Okay? So Dragon's Despair is not who we were watching. Oh, so this is the seeded guy, right? So this guy's just farming the AT. So this isn't a game either, unfortunately, guys. This isn't a game because basically these are just all rangers where what he's doing is he's just farming gold and taking advantage of the fact that it's such easy gold to go into tourneys. So these are all one guy's account. It's really like, it's not technically against the rules, but it's really, it's just scummy, basically, is the idea. This is not a real team. This guy's just AFK holding, it's one player, no macroing, he's just multi-boxing, and he's just like going to run them out and kill them. So basically this red team gets the win. So we can look here. We have a Romy / Teamfight DH, Romy / Teamfight Burst Mesmer with the great swords. We've got a team fighting Scourge. We've got a Teamfight Romy PP Thief. And finally a Duelist Warrior. So this comp is not very well rounded at all. Either the Dementis, but they will go through to the next round. So yeah, this one's actually not a good game to watch either, unfortunately. Where are all the OCX players? It seems like everyone's gone to bed at the moment. So do you guys just want to watch the Dementists get their free win? Yeah, it should be against the rules. Right now, it's not really a problem for the game right now because this Ranger team is not actually taking slots or... So look, these guys are called Dragon's Despair and they have a dragon skull with swords in it. Yeah, look at that. One of the ArenaNet devs put a lot of effort into these. I want to see a pro team that basically just copy one of the placeholder names for their guild name. That would be so good. It's not too bad because then the population is low enough that they're not stealing spots, right? So, it's only bad in as much as... It for me as a caster, it fluffs out these and it like creates boring content for you guys. And it's bad as in he's getting easy economic access. In a weird way, I mean, this is almost a scummy thing for me to say, but in a weird way, I actually encourage everyone to do this because the more people that do this, the quicker ArenaNet actually has to react and iron out loopholes like this, and the shorter amount of time this guy can just take advantage of it on his own sim, you know. But when I say I encourage people to do that, you should do that knowing it's scummy and you might even get yourself banned. I don't know whether they can ban you for it, but yeah. Cast the red players, rotations, and skill use. That's a nice idea, dude, but, like, they don't have to do any rotations. They just kill AFK Rangers. Like, it's like casting someone walking around Queensdale. There's no point. Like, oh, he's using Greatsword 1. Whoa! Whoa, will he dare to use the Disenchanter? No, I mean, it would do lots of damage because he doesn't have many boons. Oh, he's in the barrage. Will he phase retreat out? Is he going to swap to his staff? I don't even know if he's running stuff. They're actually trying to res. That's curious to me. Why is he trying to res? He actually res goes off on the blue team. Fat mind rack goes down. Look, they're all running the white wolves as well. They're like completely vanilla. It's ridiculous. Truly ridiculous. All right. Anyway, so live matches. We'll watch this one. Deathpur. Here you go. Deathpur. That's who we were watching at the start. No, we watched Deathpur v the Thermal Runaways. We've seen both those teams so far. So yeah, I can't believe it. And the other scummy thing is the Ranger gets into the semis. So because they got lots of QP because they've been doing it lots throughout the months. So the more QP you get, the higher chance you are to be seeded. And being seeded means you guarantee like semis. So he gets even more gold. He gets more and more and more profit off this as time goes by. The point where you start seeing these all Ranger teams getting into the finals, that would be really, really, really gross. But there you have it. I don't know how the devs, like, logistically, system-wide, can fix this either. A bigger PvP population would iron it out immediately because there would always be other teams with more QP than them, kind of thing. Or they wouldn't be allowed in the dailies anymore, I guess. I don't know. Oceanic Prime, is that the new Transformer? No, it's just the title of the stream to represent the fact that this is actually the tournament that people who live in OCX can, in theory, this is their prime time. Why do they all have to be Ranger? They don't. He just does it all on Ranger. I'm guessing it's because Ranger is the most passive. I mean, I know people get annoyed at it, but Ranger is easily the most passive thing in the game. By being Ranger, he can just toggle walk forwards and the pets start hitting things. So you notice at the end of this game, if we're still here by the end of this game, you'll notice that he starts getting like top score. One of these Rangers will have top damage, yeah? And that means like extra pips or whatever. Not pips, but I guess that just means that it feels slightly more legitimate, maybe. If you're not good enough to kill a pet or 5 pets, then you don't go through to the next round. I don't know. It will be because of the pets, though. Yeah, Rod says the same thing there. There's an EU person that does this to an even greater extent, I believe. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, guys, because each of these Rangers will be getting like 15 gold for this. Each of them. So you're looking at 30, 60, 75 gold 3 times a day for nothing. Let me repeat that. 75 gold, guys. Just for logging these characters in. Not to mention the Mystic Coins, dies, and whatever else. What's the current best Guardian spec? That's a silly question. It depends what role you want to work in. The best support spec would be Firebrand. And then there's different ways to interpret how to build the Firebrand, but generally well understood, I think, at the moment as Menders. And, there's Core Guard builds, there's DH builds. DH is probably the weakest of the 3, but it's there. No, you can't. It's not free-to-play accounts. You cannot play free-to-play. You can't join tournaments on a free-to-play account. He's actually bought those accounts, so ArenaNet's got 30 quid each time. For real, can you go cast someone walking around Queensdale? But they won't have the cool team names, man. They won't have the cool. So here, look. If we have a look, statistics. You see, look, the greatest Dan got top damage, healing, and defense there, right? So like, who was it we were fighting before? This is Terminal. This was the Dementist, right? We just saw versus No, so the Dementists are now against Terminal Gloaming. Was it Terminal Gloaming we were watching before? Who's the original team? I can't remember the name of the original team anymore. Who do you guys want to watch? Deathper versus Thermal Runaways in the semis, or Terminal Gloaming versus the Dementists? So this team we just saw got a free win. Yeah, nobody queued as a guild team, so we don't get to see a proper one. You guys want to see Deathper? Thermal Runaways was who we saw first. Oh, so Thermal Runaways still aren't appearing here. This is the North American because it's OCX primetime. So OCX players play on North American servers. So we're watching it here. Basically, in a perfect world, you would have 2 casts on NA a day and 1 on EU. And the EU one would be the biggest one because there's the largest population there. But OCX cast would take place on the North American servers, and the North American primetime cast would also take place on the North American servers. This queue is just not rolling. Neither of them are. You feel like OCX often go to EU? Well, I didn't know, but yesterday I tried it, and I was told that I should do NA because OCX plays on NA because they get lower lag. So, I mean, now you're telling me the opposite, but that's what I heard yesterday. Which one's actually right? Does anyone else want to chime in that story? Where do most OCX PvP players play? EU or NA? No, I'm not able to access my Chinese account. It was broken, unfortunately. And basically, I need a Chinese player to actually help me out. I need a Chinese player to hook me up, and then I can do it again. The Hairless Egg says, I'm OCX, I play NA. There you go. I got the same reason from OCX players, there's less lag on EU. Oh, is there less lag on EU? I thought there was less lag on NA, and that's why they did it on NA. That's what I thought the whole situation was. Alright, so what we got? We got Deathper returning, lads. Deathper returns for the big one against the Thermal Runaways. Feels like their emblems have randomized a little bit again, haven't they? Deathper totally has a different emblem now. Background. Do they randomize that every time? In any case, so quickly reminding ourselves of what Deathper were running. They were fielding this duelist / teamfight chrono. We've got the bruiser. I should call that a bruiser, right? This also is definitely a bruiser, jack of all trades, conversion holo. We're looking at a core guard. We're looking at another holo, same builds. And it's good. So no formal support, but the double holos with their light arenas and the chrono is actually fairly boon spammy. It's just they don't necessarily have much heal for resustain. So that's on Deathper. Maybe they figure that they don't need that when they're facing against the Thermal Runaways. So checking out the Thermal Runaways here, we have double Scourge for the team fight. We've got a this very, very, very bizarre build, if you remember. Oh, no, this is an actual real build. Okay. Is it this player that was on the bizarre build? No, none of them are the bizarre build. All right, so look, we got double team fighting Scourge with a support for mid on this Firebrand. Then they have a bursty Firebrand and a roaming. So they kind of got 2 roamers. There's no good side node holder on the red team. There's no one good on sides. So if we see that if we see that Deathper plays a 3-point game, they might beat out the Thermal Runaways, just because Thermal Runaways doesn't necessarily have a great side noder, in my opinion. But so we'll see how this goes. We're going to watch the Thermal Runaways perspective at the start of the game. Looks like they're going to send their Thief to pick up their close. Meanwhile, Deathper is sending their probably the Bursty Guardian to their close. And they're going to be sending their support guard to mid. Actually, they don't have a support guard, right? So we are expecting the mid fight here to go in the favor of the red team. As I said, 3-point game coming out from Deathper here. They're immediately pushing far. And the Thief for the Thermal Runaways is being forced off. The mid fight here, red does outnumber and compositionally are stronger. So red should definitely win this mid fight. They are 4v3. The next player's just rotated in, so it's become a 4v4. Red is winning the mid-fight very heavily right now. They've scored a kill in the mid-fight. They've pressured one of the other holos off in the mid-fight. They're doing very well. Unfortunately, as great as Thermal Runaways have done in mid, you can actually see now that they've lost close. This fight that they sent their Thief here on close, the Thief has actually lost this. Moving back to CT, they're actually starting to lose in mid as well now. They did score some early kills, but they're starting to get a lot of pressure thrown on them themselves. Basically just spamming skills here from this Necromancer. Not really been seeing too impressive play here. Doesn't even use his Desert Shroud to give himself barrier. Luckily, he's got that support in there. So they do score the full cap finally. It was a bit of a wonky mid, though, and obviously it cost them sides pressuring mid like this. They're getting good rot value over here, at least, of one of their enemies. So they managed to do that, and hopefully now they, through this rot... See, why is he cleaving this? Silly, silly. You just put them on respawn quicker. Hopefully they can actually start to re-secure some sides here. They take a little bit more back towards their territory. But ultimately, they're not committing anything good on sides here, right? So, again, they've got a Scourge now having to deal with this Chrono. And I think the Chrono is favored in this. I really do. I think the Chrono is favored. We're going to have to come back to this 1v1 later, though, because they are defending themselves in mid also. They've actually managed to invest their Roma to Far, who took full cap on Far. So Red doing very well now. They've actually got the vast majority of the board is going to be Blue that's starting to struggle. Blue putting the smackdown on this Red Scourge, though. If the Thermal Runaways lose their Scourge now, it's going to be terrible. But look at the support coming in right at the last moment. Fantastic. So Red secure their mid-fight. However, what did we see here, actually? We saw a player go down. Yes, we saw a 1v1 was actually lost here. The Thief that scored the decap went for a 1v1 against a Hollow, and obviously he was going to lose that. Meanwhile, there's another 1v1 taking over on this node, and the Scourge is being hit hard. Oh my god, look how close this is! Scourge v Chrono. Scourge does very well, it seems. So, but here's a plus coming in. So, we're going to start watching the blue team in a second here, guys. Immediately, the red player gets bursted down. Blue will secure this node. Deathbear on the blue side, also not managing to get mid, but having at least one node porting back through. And all the way on the other side of the map, they are engaged in another 1v1, which they're losing. So, yeah, let's formally start watching the blue team. Let's see how Deathbear can get back into this game, guys. So, this Hollow, immensely pressured by the Thermal Runaways Scepter Guard. It looks like they're going to be aiming for a big engagement in mid. They actually managed to secure a kill in mid. This could be the makings of a 2-cap for them. Immediately fell off. Not very good, in my opinion. He would have rather stay up there and continuing to harass. They get decap over here. This is excellent right now. Looking back over to the mid-fight. We see, actually, this Hollow is still being pressured just on the outside of CT. So, actually, he's running tools, right? So, he's running static discharge here. Does that mean he's not conversion at all? If he's on tools... Yeah, he's demo, right? So he's iron blooded kinetic battery. I need to learn a bit better these Hollows. Really sneaky little play here. Beautiful play. What you're going to notice is none of them are in position to actually counter that decap. If he takes decap and then runs into mid, this could be extremely strong for the blue team. Because you're going to actually watch here that the blue team secures basically the vast amount of map control here. They're really punishing the Red Thief. Thermal Runaways not really playing very well in that respect. They score the kill here. I think that red is in... blue is in a really good mid-fight position right now. The Prime Light Beam comes over the body to interrupt some stuff. They get massive cleave. Look at this Hollow. Absolutely wrecking face here. He's got focus from an enemy Scourge, so he needs to be careful not to run in the middle of all that Torment. He's overheated as well. Good plays there. He rotates back through. And he's done this because he knows that this Guardian here is actually going sneaky around. So great little rotation here just to make sure that he doesn't lose his close. But he's been plus. There's a beautiful little plus there from the Dagger Thief. Whether we'll see this Hollow can actually sustain this for very long, I don't know. Actually, so it was a plus on both sides, actually. So they got this into a 2v2. Blue doing extremely well now. Blue continuing to have the mid node. Blue continuing to have their close point. And they've even managed to score a neutralization and some reasonable harass over on Far. Red Thief manages to get decap. That's pretty nice. So, Red obviously losing here. Let's watch the Red Roma. It's amazing to watch these DD Thief. Like, what the hell? How does he do against Scourge? So, let's see. Moving back over to Thermal Runaways, who really, since we stopped spectating them, did not do very well on this game. What they're looking for is, since they have their close... and mid is Newt, we're looking at the Thermal Runaways, the red players, trying to win this. But they're being scattered, so one of them goes down there immediately. They go for the res. Can they actually secure it? They do have quite a lot of people over it. They're pushing it. They're so close. They're so close. They don't manage to get it. Deathbear laying the pounds down right there on the roads. They've taken so much cleave going for this res. Another attempt at the res here from the support Firebrands. Look at this one hollow just destroying them all. So he gets the res. That's good. But think about how many cooldowns were probably blown here. Now that he's been resed, can the thermal runaway Roma actually make any plays? It looks like they're about to be 1v2'd out. Oh, okay, so a plus comes in from the blue team right at the last second, but it really probably wasn't that necessary. All that stuff to try and get the thief up, but ultimately it doesn't manifest anywhere. That's so bad for the red team. The red team really needed to make some plays there, and with that, with 2 of their players down, and their Scourge now, who on the other side of the map has also gone down. Sorry, guys, we're at red spawn now, okay? I just blinked the camera, but we're back at red spawn. That means that they've lost at red spawn. So many of them are dead. The 2 players that we just saw get 2v1 are actually coming back out of the base now. And let's see if they can actually get to their close to resustain this. Scourge is in the middle of being killed. There's no Signet of Mercy. There's no Merciful Intervention. There is a Merciful Intervention. Why wouldn't you use Merciful Intervention? If he's running the trait that does the knockback on res, that could have been pretty good as well. But so we've got a little bit of a stagger going on here now. We see that the death per enemy support drops the wall down, preventing them from getting in. Really, we got to see that the Thermal Runaways have to get their Firebrand Scourge up onto the node. They need to win this fight. They desperately need to win this fight. Meanwhile, while that's going on, Ghastly Breaches go down. They're losing the fight. They've lost that. Let's actually see if the support can bail out. He rotates back in. Why? Never rotate back into that. Okay, so he's just got himself blown up. That's Firebrand Scourge down. The Firebrand has not been able to make any plays. Unfortunately, wasn't able to support his Thief earlier. Wasn't able to support his Scourge this time. Red gets some minor plays in mid. We're also seeing that their Roma seems to have been in a pretty volatile engagement with the Death per Hollow. One of the Death per Hollows there, as you can see up here. Let's see if he can actually finish this fight. It looks like they won it at the very least. Shadow Step could take a really sexy neutralization here. Does he go for it? Looks like he might. He doesn't have the initiative to get the last Infiltrator's arrow. We'll see how fast this Hollow is here. If he has the rocket boots available, then he's going to get on it. He manages to stop the decap going through. Use your heal to prevent the free... Oh my god. He popped Signet of Agility purely to get rid of one burn that really wasn't too dangerous anyway. Did he cancel cast his own heal as well? Pretty miserable, unfortunately. So we still see, as was established earlier, Red securing a lot of these fights, right? And they've got them here in mid, but what's going on sides? It really is down to this Roma to actually make some plays there. He goes for some pressure on the downstate body. Really, the Scourge should be doing that instead of hugging the node so much. He's not going to be able to stop that res. His mobility could have been used, and now he goes down. He's punished for it. His mobility could have been used to neutralize here, perhaps, or even back over at the node that he was trying a second ago at Mansion. With Blue continuing to sustain this double cap, it's looking very strong for them right now. This 1v1 won't necessarily go too bad. Let's see. So we've got Scourge v Scourge matchup at the Reds spawn. So he will have reinforcements. We saw that the red Roma did die a second ago. He's going to come out of that gate and plus this. Or he should. He's actually AFK, it looks like. The fact he's AFK because he doesn't believe he can win. He could have made a pull there. I think it's pretty gross that that's the player that went AFK there, though. Considering the plays that were potential to be made there. And yeah, it looks like a really well played game for the Death Per team again. And they're going to go through to the finals, I think it is. So congratulations. Yeah, the thief was sword dagger and dagger dagger. It was no, he wasn't sword dagger and dagger dagger. We saw he had a short bow, didn't we? So some nice politeness going on in chat there. Congratulations to Death Per, who Death Per beat in Death Per, and then Death Per beat in the Thermal Runaways. We're going to see the finals of the tourney come up very soon. The Mustachio duo, though. It's the Thermal Runaways team learned fast all the ways they couldn't play. Sorry, is that English? I'm not sure if I understand what you said there. So here we have the finals. It's going to be Terminal Gloaming versus Death Per. And I don't think we've seen Terminal Gloaming play yet? Question mark? I don't think so. How did you guys find that? We teleported the camera badly once. But aside from that, it was alright, right? Is the, can someone give me some feedback, right? Does it still feel good primarily spectating the losing side? Does that make it quite clear what we're seeing as the match goes along? Instead of just flipping red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. It's lyrics, WP. The lines didn't render. Oh, is it lyrics? Okay. Don't judge us, Aussie. We are upside down compared to everyone else. It's hard to play like that. Do you guys think that that's a good like format to go with? I feel like I can unpack the story of the game a bit better when I do that. Of course, games that are close the whole way through is going to be more of a struggle, but yeah. Oh, it's the Thermal Runaways. Daddy's team learnt fast all the ways they couldn't play. There you go, that's the lyrics. You prefer the losing side perspective because that's where I learn the most. Yeah, like you learn more and also like, I don't know. Yeah, Oceanic Prime, Valen. Don't you be rude, all right? Oceanic Prime, absolutely. There have been some intense games in this tournament. We've seen some AFK Rangers. We've seen some slam dunks. And we've seen some more slam dunks. Feedback on the overlay after seeing a couple of matches. It's great with team names to keep track. The only thing, IMO, I would have the icons smaller so they don't clip the lowest person and then make the text a bit bigger so it's easier to read. Well, I can't really make the text too much bigger. Because it's actually the game's UI. I can do it sort of vaguely. It would just be really annoying. We can just move the icons for what it's worth. That's actually really easy to do. I'll show you that in a second. Actually, I can do that now. Let me just turn my auto clicker off. Like, literally, we can just move them down a bit. But it just feels slightly off. And I did have this for a while, right? But it was just slightly... What is this? The red overlay? Is that actually as broken as I think it is? The red overlay broke at some point, guys. Has it been broken all fucking game? What the hell? There you go. Was the red overlay always broken? When did I break that? Anyway, there we go. All right, so it's Coliseum for the final. Nice, easy map to cast. So we got the Thermal Runaways versus Deathper. Let's see how they do. Recapping on Deathper. They're changing their builds a lot, aren't they? Deathper running a Scrapper now. Are they running a Scrapper? No. What? Yeah, it's Scrapper because he's running a Hammer, right? So they're running Scrapper support. Core Guards for bursts. We've got Tools. Hollow. What do we call this build? Iron-Blooded? Iron-Blooded's Hollow, I guess we call that. They've got a Team Fighting Scourge. And they've got a Team Fighty Slash. I mean, this is a jack of all trades, really. They've got a jack of all trades Chrono, right? Reasonable in 1v1s, reasonable mobility, reasonable team fighting potential. So that's them over there. We do not see Firebrand support coming out on that team at all. Meanwhile, over on Thermal Runaways side... Oh, sorry, hold on. No, Terminal Gloaming. I almost forgot. This is Terminal Gloaming now. So, boom. Terminal Gloaming with their weird-ass emblem. What is that emblem, guys? It's like a sunset. Is that it? It's just a sunset? All right. I like it. I actually like the sunset team. The sunset team doing better. So, over here, we have... Conversion Hollow this time. No. It's Tools again. Does anyone run Conversion? So, we've got Tools... We got a roaming bursty Mesmer. We got a Soul Beast, probably team fighty roamy oriented. We got a more duelist Mesmer builds. That's actually on meta battle called a duelist, so I'll stick with that. And we've got another bursty Mesmer. So lots of damage coming down from the red team. I think this will be quite interesting. Watching the opening splits, we have Mesmers picking up the close points. We're going to watch Banjo here as he seeks to do some big burst here at the team fight. In the middle. Immediate stealth very early. Pushes up immediately with the great swords. Lots of damage straight away on one of those Scourges. The Scourge gets an immediate heal that he pops on the Deathper side. But too much pressure. There's no Firebrand to properly support this. So they do secure the kill very quickly. I'm not sure whether Deathper can get that res. They're not even attempting it, which in my opinion is the correct play. You can see that Red is being punished pretty hard on their health though in this mid-fight. Just because they are so squishy. They really needed to land that early burst to be able to take this fight here. Banjo goes down, so you deal a lot of pressure, you take a lot of pressure. That's from the Mesmer who picked up close that manages to pull that through. So one down on either side here. The team fight does still roar. Basically with one player dying on each side, but then the side point people rotating in. We're still looking at a 4v4 essentially. Let's keep an eye still on Terminal Gloaming. We're watching the Tools Hollow to see how we can lay some smack down. Red does secure their second kill over there. And still though, Red's actually very low across the board right now. So if we actually have a look over here, Red's being pressured way off. Beautiful disengage here from Lab Chop to take the plus against the blue team. So Deathbird being extremely heavily punished here. Can they port out as well? Is Banjo actually going to be able to port out after this very quick respawn? So that was on their close, right? So no, he can't do that. Moving back over to the mid engagement. We're still watching Blue fighting for their lives here, but they're now actually pretty outnumbered. We're going to be watching Blue's perspective now. Deathbird, since they've basically lost the double cap, right? With the end of that explosive start, we look at Red take close, Red takes mid. And we're watching Blue stagger out of their spawns to see exactly how they can get back on the map. So these new Blue players are rotating in here. What we really want to see is they get offer pills for their low guy, all right? They regroup. You can see actually on the map most of their positioning here. We actually have Blue Hollow crossing, very sneaky, across to the other side of the map. And he's actually going to take neutralization. He's going to secure that, so that's very good. That means that even though they kind of lost the start of the game, they don't get snowballed against too hard. We're going to see Hollow v Druid there as well, I think, in a second. They even scored the neutralization here. Red spending so long fighting on the roads, they've just given up their caps extremely easily. Blue still on the underhand, though, just for a second. Let's see if he can bail away. I'm loving seeing the mortar after the mortar patch. Let's see if there's actually any value to it. Doesn't have too much to kite away. The Hollow is really giving him a pound in. Banjo takes the easy kill. So Red sweeps on their close again. And Red is going to be looking to resustain the mid fight now, which they also very quickly recap. Blue players are invested over here on the roads, but what do they actually have? They don't even have the guy that they were fighting low. This Druid, Soul Beast, sorry, essentially 1v2ing here. Just because it's on the road and not over a node. This is a defensive play from the Blues. They need this res. This res has to go off. They're just letting the stomp go through. Confusion drops the Chaos Storm to try and get some days, but it doesn't land. And with that stomp on the Scourge, Blue needs some momentum right now so that they can start tackling this enemy double cap. But with the Scourge going down, that's pretty nasty, guys. That is genuinely pretty nasty. We need to see Blue actually secure some kills. Let's see if they can push forward onto this enemy Soul Beast. Soul Beast would be very vulnerable. The mortar damage going on it. Love to see that. The Prime Light Beam, just one more hit from the Scrapper. Good. Do they take quick stomp? Is he going to waste Elixir S? No. Rally goes through, by the way. I didn't see that, but there was actually a rally race, and the Soul Beast immediately reses. What you actually saw was that the terminal gloaming Mesmer burst the hell out of the Blue Guardian, and so that caused the rally race to be lost. And with that, I think we see Blue even loses on their close now. Nobody's been picking up the buffs. So Blue doesn't have too steep of a hill. They just got to sort of secure some kill. Look at this guy rotating off. Let's see if they can. The Scourge has noticed it. He doesn't have any actual offensive condies to pressure through the Blurred Frenzy. It does go down finally. He doesn't dodge the shockwave. He didn't have to, I guess, because he had ages. But another rally goes through. All these rallies, I think that we're actually seeing here on the finals that the Blue team cannot fight against the red team here. So Deathbird really struggling. Terminal Glowing just smacking them down every single time. Let's look back towards Blue spawn. What I want to see is this Mesmer here who just respawned. He's the freshest person on his team. Everyone else is low, otherwise engaged. He wants to try and get across the map and get a neutralization somewhere else. Split them apart, fight outnumbered for a second so that his team can maybe make a play. Blue not properly regrouping, but he's been masterfully prevented from doing that by the Soul Beast, right? Soul Beast is great on this map. Anything with a long bow, you get these beautiful long lines of sight. So he tries to take the side on spawn, but he's been aggressed long enough that he's now actually outnumbered on the roads here. You can see his Engineer has had the same idea. Very early Elixir S. He's doing that because he's scared of a big burst coming in from this enemy Mesmer. Let's see if the Scrapper can take this. I would hope he would. You notice he goes aggressive instead of straight to the node. He kind of has to, which is really stuck between a rock and a hard place because this neutralization is really important to get back into this game. But he also has to do this. Let's see if he gets the dodge. A little bit late, honestly. Plus is coming in now. So 2 Great Sword Mesmers versus 1 Scrapper. Doesn't score the neutralization. That's 1 burst. We'll see the other one coming in from Lynch in a second. Can he kite around? Really? He needs to be more masterfully circling around these pillars, right? To just obstruct when the Great Sword 4s go off or whatever, or the Warlocks. That's so annoying when you're playing these Mesmer builds. There's the Auto S. I think that was Auto S. But it looks like, even though he's held them here pretty... So, like, look at the line of sight here, right? This is so good against these Great Sword builds. But he's moved himself back out into open field. I don't actually agree with that. He could have kept going around the logs. He held 2 of them for quite a while, honestly. He did hold 2 of them for quite a while. But with him going down here, these Mesmers are going to rotate through. And they're going to fight against this engineer as well, who is on a far less sustainy build and is basically just buying time before they die. This time, though, has actually enabled the blue team to rescore. They're close. So we do see that. How did the res go off? Okay, he just let him res because they've given up. I guess we've seen that they've given up. Okay. So they scored 1 kill, but they've just let them res. So what a boring final. Honestly, OCX, this was not a good cast. Really, really boring tournament. There's basically nothing interesting going on this one, I'm afraid, guys. Red's taking a very easy kill. That's going to be Terminal Gloaming with the Sunset win. I mean, I suppose it's kind of interesting that we saw Deathbear, like, work their way up through the rungs and then just get slapped down by Terminal Gloaming here. Call them monkeys. Listen, I am the ultimate monkey. When I sent you an Endless Monkey King tonic yesterday, I kept one for myself. I'm offended by your characters' names. Yeah, Oceanic Prime does sound better than NA off-peak. They are all Prime slots. Like, one is EU Prime, one is NA Prime, and one is OCX Prime. So we may as well just call it that. It sounds better. It will probably bait a couple more people to click in. The scene needs to, like, come to, like, clear decisions about what these things are called. But yeah, despite the fact the game wasn't too interesting, I don't think I missed anything too important on that one, right? And we got to see the overlays. It should be, like, ultra clear which team was spectating and when now, right? You know what's a bit confusing for me? That the blue team names are on the right, but they spawn on the left. I could fix that. I could fix that by doing this. Which should be weird as hell, and it would throw off PvP play. Actual players, it would throw them off a lot. But I could do that. So, basically, we've reversed the map. And now it's red on the left and blue on the right. What do you guys think? Please no. It's fine, guys. Look, it's the mirror. It's PvP mirror. It's fine. That totally works. Is this a good PvP map? I think it's an excellent map. Really good. Team fight-oriented map. Brilliant to spectate. Brilliant to understand what's going on. A little bit snowbally in terms of side gates because the devs don't actually let you use this one and it's not that helpful anyway. I think if there was a side gate that took you out, I don't know, maybe upper or something. If there was a way to climb out onto this and then down, it would be a more balanced map in terms of being snowballed against. But, yeah, I think it's an excellent map. And it provides a flavor of gameplay that the others don't, right? So, I think different maps should emphasize different aspects of combat. And if this one is low peel ability, low kite ability, awesome +1 potential, and awesome projectile potential, I think that's cool as a map. It's definitely worthwhile. It's sort of the anti-forest, this, actually, if you think about it. I don't think you can call it a bad map just because +1s are stronger on this map than others, as you just saw in chat. I think they're wrong to do that. So there you go. Looking at the timeline, we see blue was giving them a run for the money, but you'll notice that blue doesn't score any kills, but red scores a lot. Now, in the future cards, keep an eye, guys. Keep an eye. You may not be impressed with this just yet, right? You still may not be impressed by all the fancy graphics and cool stuff, but you will be, I promise, as time goes by. Because if we can get the kill counter on there, you will see so clearly. It will be, like, basically what I'm going to have, hopefully, is under the team name, there'll just be a number. It's not going to be crazy UI bloat. It's not going to say kills and blah, blah, blah. It's just going to be a number, a single digit that will appear there. Or when we get into double digits, obviously, too. Representing how many kills each team has scored. Written in red on this side, written in blue on this side. And that'll be so useful. It'll be really, really good. Flip the map back. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I like how people are actually, like, weirded out by it. It's good. Boom. I think the kill counter will be good. Yeah. I'm annoyed, Banjo, that you made that too easy of a game. We didn't have anything entertaining to watch. I'd also like to know specifically which kill it was, like it was a Shatterstone. I mean, you will have that on the right. What you just said there, Valen, is a cool idea that I hadn't thought of. And it's potentially doable, but it would be, like, it's not as low-hanging of a fruit. It would depend if CVPCS wanted to do it. What you'd do is you'd have machine recognition on the right here that saves a log of all the kills as they happened. And then in the post-game, you would, like, look through them, I guess. But until then, you would just have to use the in the fly moment, the UI as it shows it. Or yeah, you could have the kill appear and it would just show the icon until the next one appears, maybe something like that. You could do that as well, but again, it would be I don't know. It depends how Guild Wars 2 handles it, because if 3 kills happen very quickly, then the other ones stack on top, and I don't know. It might be harder than that. Oh, you mean on the timeline? You're talking about ArenaNet. Yeah. For ArenaNet to improve the timeline. Yeah, you're right, yeah. I mean, in terms of what I can deliver as a cast, though, that's obviously a little bit more limited. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That would be very cool, too. Wow, it is a bit tilted. I never noticed before it was mirrored just now. What's a bit tilted? Sorry, what, the mini-map? You mean specifically on that map? Yeah, I really want combat tonics. The more I think about it, the more I want combat tonics in-game. How cool would it genuinely be for people to queue as a team of monkeys? Seriously. Oh, it'd be so good. Or a team of Watch Knights or Kodan or whatever. I'm disappointed that nobody queued as a guild team there. Can someone queue as a guild team? Someone make a cool guild with a guild name and a cool icon and join an AT, please, for the love of God, at some point. I really want to cast one where it's like, you know, I want to actually see a real team name here with a team icon here. Are those PC specs still accurate? They should be, yeah. I haven't had a hardware update for a while. Let's see a Kodan boy band this tournament. Yeah, make a guild called the Kodan boy band. Oh, actually, you don't even need to make a guild. You just make a team name, right? Team name. It's a PvP team. Yeah, there you go. The Kodan boy band. Boom, it's available. Use it. I'll delete it. It's available, guys. Think about all the team names that are still ripe for the picking. I bet the Monkeys is available. Okay. There you go. Monkey Boys. Exactly. All right, feedback, guys, before I log out here. What else did you all think before we leave? The Colosseum itself, like the northern and southern walls, are not parallel to the edges of the map. Yeah, there's lots of weird stuff like that where it's not actually perfectly symmetrical in a lot of ways. Like one of that's an extremely balanced map in terms of like geography and stuff, and yet even there's some asymmetry to it. As someone new to this, are you talking about making a mod for casting or something ArenaNet's going to implement? I'm talking about, it's not a mod. It's just basically being better with OBS. So basically something I can do as a member of the community, not a developer of the game, nothing to do with ArenaNet. What I can do as a member of the community is hopefully set up a thing where you get kill score listed. And you can see live as the game's going along, you know, Terminal Gloaming got 20 kills, while Deathpair only had 11 by the end of the game. And you can say, well, look, they scored more, and then that manifested as momentum. Or you'll see, you know, Terminal Gloaming scores 15, Deathpair scores 10, but Deathpair wins. Deathpair has more kills, but they win. And that would represent the fact that they held their nodes longer while outnumbered, and they did better at trolling around. They scored more neutralization, stuff like that, right? Like you can do that kind of stuff. And it would tell the story better for you guys watching, the spectators. It would tell the story better. Because I, as a caster, won't necessarily catch every single kill on the map, but the kill counters will continue ticking up. So even if I miss seeing the kill, the audience will see, oh, the kill counter just ticked up by 1, and you'll notice it, right? And on top of that, I, as a caster, will notice later that at least the numbers have gone up, and then I can draw everyone's attention to it and my own attention to it and say, oh, wow, look, this has actually been going on. So I, as a caster, can more intelligently know how the map is unfolding, and you, as the audience, can more intelligently know how the game is unfolding, and it's just better. I'm actually kind of surprised that ArenaNet don't have kill counters first party just there in the game. But I'm surprised they don't have a lot of things. I'm excited that we as the community can set it up, though. Would you be able to put a number next to each team member that counts individual kills per player? No. Because the way that this would work is the score bars at the top. Basically, we're tracking and logging the points that the teams are scoring. So the way that we actually detect it, in theory, I haven't even spoken to CVPCS about this just yet, but the theory behind it is every time it logs a +5 point uptick, which it then translates into the bars, you can then just print that 5 point as a counting number in a notepad file somewhere, which OBS reads from. So that's the way it works. It's not actually looking at, like, if you actually stop for a second and think about what you requested there, you're asking for, like, some obscenely, like, efficient machine learning AI to detect all that shit for me. That's not the way that we can do it. But we can just count easily. We can see when kills go through just by seeing plus 5 point means that a team scored a kill, right? So you can know sort of globally and broadly how it works, but otherwise, anything else, you're kind of asking for magic. The way what would work? Just a casting thing, Candice. It's good to see you, by the way. A casting thing that's going to show kills, hopefully. So anyway, that's another idea. I've got other ideas as well. Once that's hooked up, we can actually do other little things like play a sound effect. Sound design, audio design, I think is really important. And I've done no theory craft on the technical standpoint for that just yet. But we can play a sound effect when a kill goes through. And, like, there'll be a slight sound effect for the red, like a chime of a specific vibration or whatever. And then there'll be a chime for blue. They'll be slightly different. So not only will the kill counter tick up, you'll also hear, like, a little ding or something. It wouldn't be obnoxious and intrusive and annoying. Obviously, we'd remove it if it ended up like that. But there would be, like, an audio cue showing when a stomp goes through. Because right now there is, if you crank the SFX volume up really loud, there is obviously the finisher sound effect, and it changes based on the finisher used. But A, it's not consistent because different finishers have different sound effects, and B, it gets drowned out by the rest of the combat. But it is an important thing, like, to have the impact of when a kill goes through, I think is really important for spectatability. And once we have, like, logging of just a kill going through, you could also just play a predefined sound effect, right? So, and again, that would make the team fights feel more impactful as well, because you'd know the big moments. It wouldn't be, oh, did they get the kill or not? Everyone would hear it. It would be like, ding, or something, you know? There's all kinds of little things like that you can do. And music as well. The logic behind the score bars, a very lofty goal later is you could actually hook music up to it. You know, like in Overwatch, where the game is getting really close, it's near the end, and they play, like, the music. You could do similar stuff to that as well. So we're not just listening to always crappy Guild Wars 2 Kylo music going again and again and again. You could actually have a track that crescendos as the game gets more hype. The audio reflects it getting more hype at the same time, without me having to put in any manual work, or the caster having to put in any manual work, you know. And that, again, that's also, that's strong. That's very, very, very good. If you can set that stuff up. I've not properly analysed what all of the past casts were like when Worlds was going on and stuff, but I don't think they had anything... I don't think that anyone on the scene has ever properly, like, tackled this aspect of casting. Jeb did actually show on one of his streams, they did go big dick on it for a while, and they had some cool stuff going on, like where they had special overlays for everyone's builds and stuff, but a lot of it seems to have just been cut away over the years, and it's not standard procedures. It's not like standard practice or anything going on. It's like people literally just... So, anyway, you know, I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about things we can improve. Spectator API. Yeah, if there was an API, you could do all kinds of stuff as well. Yeah, Killchain, you missed it, though. You missed it. It was not a good tournament. It was not a good tournament. Probably the worst one I've watched so far, actually. But, I mean, practice is practice, I suppose. So Grenth's game will be the next. That is EU Prime. And I might try it again over there. Yeah, I already did, Roy. If you want to watch it and give me some feedback, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, can someone tell me as well, if you play OCX, where do you get lower ping? EU servers or NA servers? And if you're an old player, I don't want your opinion, because they've moved with the Amazon hosting now, right? So... nowadays, an OCX player who gets lower ping, and also specify if you're East or West Coast, because that's a big difference, right? You think you'll do a video on the last AT on EU? Oh, the 4 rev queue, Valen. I think people would be interested in that. You get lower ping on NA, NA. Yeah, I thought it was NA. So where's the guy that was in chat earlier saying it was EU? Where are you, EU, man? NA 100%. I literally tested this 2 days ago. West Coast Australia gets 400 MS to EU and 300 MS to NA. There you go. I mean, that's pretty blatant then, isn't it, really? So what are the two teams here? The Cold Foamers and the Pig Iron Puddlers. They're going to be slightly offset, right? No, it worked perfectly. I guess I just made a mistake before. So we can cast thingies. Check it out. So you get the anvil. What do you guys think about the icons, right? Do you think that like the anvil here? It's a bit weirdly placed, right? But I think it's good. Yeah. Seriously, someone please make a good guild with a cool icon and stuff. You guys have got to do that. How do I test that ping? If you just press F11, it will give you ping. I don't actually think this is true ping. SCW talked about that online. That's not actually a representation of true ping. There's like if you send a direct, if you do like a ping plotter or something, it's different. But it's close enough, I think, is the point. Or maybe I'm thinking about Guild Wars 1. His comment was on Guild Wars 1. I don't know. One of them. You can do ping tests. Yeah, like you can plot it to a specific place. But there you go, guys. So that's I'm really happy with this. I think it's really good. I think we've got some cool stuff going on here now. The bars are working out properly. We've got cool indicators of showing. More consistent color scheme. It's better than what we had before. Like the red on the overlay is actually the proper color that will appear as the red behind Cold Foamers there, right? And the blue on this overlay is proper there. So they've just rematched and it's now Death Per versus the Cold Foamers. Boom. Oh, so sometimes that happens. Sometimes it doesn't. It's very rare, but sometimes it doesn't show one of the team names. But I think I can fix that as well with something else. The overlays are just a little bit large, you think? Oh, but I like them a lot. Sorry, the icons are a bit large. Okay, we'll shrink them down a little bit, but I'm not giving you much. I'm not giving you much because I like the size of them. There you go. Schmellen just got timed out for some reason. But yeah, all right, guys, seriously, I've got stuff to do. Thanks for watching this little mini random practice. Hope you enjoyed. And maybe I'll be back for the AT at EU Prime later if it's going to be a bit more interesting. If somebody confirms to me that they are going to queue in that on, like, Monkey Boys or something like that, I will definitely cast it. But if not, I don't know. I might be doing something else. Chisel, I'll see you later.